Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. This is Missy. Today I'm making another layout using the 2015 April Hip Kits. This is my second layout using these kits, and I'm using some pictures of my daughter in the pool from a couple years ago. And I knew right away that I wanted to use some squares from this Webster's Pages pattern paper, and it came in the color kit. And it's just beautiful. There are so many colors and shapes and patterns in those little squares, and I narrowed down a couple that I wanted to use for this. And at this point I'm not real sure what I'm gonna do with them yet, but I'm just slicing them up there, and I'm gonna figure out as I go how I'm going to design them on the page. There's just it's such a pretty piece of paper, and the back of it's a really pretty solid pink color, but you can't not use these squares. It's just beautiful. So when I first cut them out, I thought, well, maybe I'll try a vertical design here. So I just play around with it for a while. Then I scrap that idea and try to go for a horizontal design, and I wanted to make sure that I got all the squares where I wanted them as far as separating the colors. I didn't want too much pink beside each other and too much of the dark and things like that. So that is that yellow heart paper. That's from American Crafts. It's the Amy Tan Rise and Shine, and there's a lot of that collection in these kits. And I really love that yellow. I think it's very bright and pretty. And the vellum this time is from Basil, and it's a little whiter than some of our other vellum that we've gotten before, but it's still, you can still see through it. It just creates a really pretty frosted look. So I'm trying to create a messy little border for my picture there, and I like for it to be uneven and kind of bent up. I don't want it to be perfectly straight, so I'm just cutting some there. I'm not even measuring or having straight edges. I just kind of wing it and then stick it down there, so it's kind of got a messy little background to it and it kind of uneven. That's from Elle Studio, that circle, different color circles paper, and I just wanted to layer that under the yellow strip, and I decided that that's where that's going to go, so I stick it down, and it's really pretty. I like that the orange and pink are right up against that yellow strip, and then some of these other colors from the squares will get pulled in there. I like to have multiple colors on my layouts, and as if you can't tell, I love bright colors. I think every layout I've filmed since I started doing videos is super bright, and I can't help it. I just love bright colors. So get out my T-square ruler to make sure that that's straight. And now comes my favorite part, the mixed media part, and I wanted to add color, and since I'm using that craft background, clear gesso wasn't really what I wanted to do, because I wanted to kind of blend out some of the craft color, so when I put the other color on top of it, it would stand out and not blend into the craft. So I'm just using my finger there, and my bottle's getting low, so I'm just sticking my finger in it until it gets used up. And a lot of that cloudy look will get covered up, and I'm using the packaging technique again. This is my favorite technique lately, and I'm just using my cheap watercolors from Michaels there and just putting some on the plastic and then smushing it down onto the paper and dabbing it up. And this is what I've been doing a lot lately, and I just like the effect of it, and I keep doing it because it's fun and it's fast and it gives a really cool and artsy look. And at this point I'm kind of looking at this as I'm making it, and I remember thinking, this may not turn out like I'm thinking it's going to. It looks kind of like a hot mess there with all the white and the pink, but it always looks better once you add your pictures on top of it, I think. So I keep working at it. I want to add some blue because there's blue water in the pictures, so I want to put some blue toward the bottom there. And the blue at the bottom here is going to be kind of subtle. It's not going to be really, it's not going to really stand out as super bright, but it is going to pull some of the blue from the pictures into the bottom of the page there. Now this bright yellow is that Lemon Zest Dilutions, and that came in last month's color kit, and it is super bright. No matter how much dabbing you do after you smush it down like this, or you spray it or drip it, it's going to stay that bright yellow color. It's very bold, and that's what I wanted, with some pops of yellow. And it did make a little bit of a green tone when I put it over the blue there. Now I'm going to pull in my gelatos and add a little bit more blue down to the bottom. And I feel like this is taking a long time, but I get a lot of people asking me how I put the color down and how I do that, so I wanted to make sure that I got all that covered there. That circle stencil was from last month's color kit also. It's a Dilutions circle stencil there, and I'm just adding a couple more circles to echo the circles in that pattern paper there, and just to give it a little more blue. I want to add a frame, and those frames come in, oh gosh, I think the main kit. They're American Crafts. They're from the Amy Tan collection also, and I didn't want to use too many. I just wanted to use one on that one picture there, so I just stapled it down, and I'm going to leave the other one unframed. I stitched on it. It was very easy to stitch on, and I stitched on the paper there in a couple different colors. I used a blue color, a pink color, and a dark gray color. And I decided that I need a little more yellow behind that pink frame for the picture on the right, because I have a smudge over there on the left upper side, so I wanted to make sure that was even. Pop dots for the pictures, I've decided that that is definitely where they're going to go, so I want to get those down right there. Except I'm going to use glue for that one since it's already pretty bulky as far as layers in the frame, so I want to get that down and make sure it stays. And then the other one's going to have pop dots on it, so it's going to kind of overlap the other picture. And I like that all the papers and the squares are straight on, but the pictures are kind of crooked. I don't know why I like to do that, but I do that a lot. I just like the way it looks. And here I'm just going to play around with some of the embellishments, some of the die cuts. I wind up not using that flower. I thought it might work since the background is craft, but it just didn't gel right. And I'm not going to use that little pink piece either. Oh look, it's another camera. Remember last month? I still haven't used that camera, but I'm going to use this white one. You watch. It's going to make it on this layout. Those circle, I think they're like epoxy stickers from American Crafts. I love them. They are gorgeous. The colors are so rich and so pretty, and I just want to stick them on everything. So I'm going to stretch my title horizontally across the bottom there, make it a really big, bold title, and I play around with it for a minute. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to put it on the left or put it on the center, but I do wind up stretching it across. And I'm going to mix up those multicolored, multi-pattern thickers right there with that gold sunshine thicker. So shiny and gold, it's really pretty. And the U came from the other pack of thickers. I believe it came from the embellishment kit. There's a lot of thickers in these kits this month, and they are all pretty. So that's how my title's going to go, but I wind up shifting it a little bit to the left because it's not exactly centered. And I do wind up gluing down those the RMI. Since I kind of overlapped them a little bit, they didn't want to stick very well, so I do glue them down. That is the Heidi Swapp chipboard stickers from the Project Life kit, and you can see they're super shiny. So I want to echo that gold sunshine. I want some more gold up at the top, so that's why I add that there. And I'm going to give my Freckled Fawn word arrows some yellow. I just rub the gelato over it. Super easy and super fast. And I've never really had a problem with that coming off. It works pretty well for me. Now I really love the camera, but it's too white, so I'm going to add some blue to it. I'm just going to play around with a couple of different shades of blue gelatos and make it a blue camera, and I really like how it turned out. I know that's too bright right there because of the reflection of my lamps, but you'll be able to see what I do with it here in a minute. There we go. I take a black pen and I trace along the edges. Since I added that color, it kind of made this silver on there a little more muted, so I wanted it to stand out. So I just traced it with my pen and then pop dotted up, and I think that looks really good. It gives it some more blue down there at the bottom. Glue those down. And I'm really liking this so far. It's turning out to be way better than I thought it was at first, which happens to me quite often as I'm going along, and I can't tell you how many times I've thought I have just screwed this up. But it always winds up being okay, and if it's not the end of the world. That little wood veneer tag is going to get pop dotted up right there, and I'm going to add another one of those little circle stickers to the middle of that camera, and those little hearts, oh my goodness, they're so squishy and fun. I love those, and they have like a gold tint to them. I love when you just start reaching for the embellishments and they all just work. They all just fit right where you want them to go, and they look great. I had a little too much glue on that, so I'm using my little scooper tool there to scoop out some of the excess glue. And now I'm going to wrap this up soon with these little sentiment stickers. There's two sheets of each of these colors. There's pink, a really light orangey color, a really soft blue, and a light gray. And I just layer a couple of little sentiments down there underneath the picture and add in my tangled thread, which I think I have to do on every layout these days. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that, but it's just my thing, and I just keep doing it, and I like the way it looks. So until I get sick of it, I'm probably going to keep doing it. It's just part of the messy factor that I like. I don't know. I just like things to look like it just kind of fell there sometimes. So I add different colors. There's some yellows, some blue, and some pink tangled thread, and I just usually squirt some glue under there, and that holds it. I'm going to add a little bit of journaling down at the bottom and add my date stamp, and I think I'm going to finish it off with some color shine. Add a little bit more of the yellow dilutions and then a couple of dots of tinsel. I think that's Heidi Swap. And that's going to wrap it up. There's the final layout. Once again, I love the colors. I like how it turned out. I think it's really bright and pretty and summery. And here comes some close-ups. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can do with these kits. Visit hipkitclub.net to see all the available kits. The May kits just got revealed, and they're gorgeous too. So I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day.